Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Stupa series. It's really lovely to see you all here again. In the last year, we've been working on the Medicine Buddha Stupa project, which is a new pilgrimage that we are building here in Arizona. And in order to keep everyone informed and to have some learning opportunities, we have done several talks. Today is the 8th of 10 talks that we're going to be doing. If you want to look at some of those talks, they are on our YouTube channel and also on the website. You'll see that we have an explanation of the entire project and the different talks, which we started originally. We then spoke a little bit about famous stupas and steps, because we are going to be building some of those steps here at Diamond Mountain. We spoke about stupas themselves and the marble that we're going to be building them from. We also refer to stupas over in time and space and what stupas mean and the symbolic nature of that. So there's lots to learn.
Hey, honey, you have to slow down.
Yes, thank you. I see Sunam is waving frantically at me. I forget. I'm not as practiced as you are. Thank you, Sunam. And our last talk was about replenishing the desert and restoring the earth. So if you're interested in any of these talks, please feel free to go and watch them. But today, we are speaking about pilgrim practices. Our pilgrimages have been happening for centuries, and there is a very rich history, both in the East and the West, and everything in between. And we're going to be talking about some of those today. Geshe Michael is going to be sharing with us some of the most important pilgrimages in the West and Near East. And Dr. Wu will be speaking about pilgrimages in the East and sharing a lot of that information. If there's time, I'll talk a little bit about those that fall in between. Even the indigenous peoples have some pilgrimages of sorts, and the Baha'i people. And so it's a very common practice, surprisingly, and there must be many commonalities between them, but also some differences. And hopefully in this talk, you will learn some of those pilgrim practices. Maybe it'll inspire you to go on a pilgrimage near you, or to maybe come and visit us here when we're ready for you. So without any further delay, I'd like to hand over to Geshe Michael, who's going to start us on this journey of pilgrimages in the West and Near East.
Thank you, Hanli, and good morning, everybody, and good evening, and good afternoon. Hey, Hanli, I have a new system how to talk on Zoom. It's called halfway Alzheimer's. So you talk for a moment and then you forgot what you say, and then the translator has time. You see, so it's a good system. I'm gonna trademark it. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. Let's see this one, and it's a big honor to give this talk with Hanli and with Dr. Blue, Fearless Sage. Good morning, Dr. Blue. It's good to see you again. You are in the Himalayas, good. Or Wutai-shan, I think. Okay, all right. So I'm going to cover some pilgrim practices that we have in the Western countries. And then Dr. Blue will cover some from China. And then Hanli's going to cover some from other places in the world. And I think by mistake, I took some of Hanli's places, so I apologize for that. The first pilgrimage I wanted to talk about is called Camino de Santiago. And I didn't know, but Santiago, which is a name that we know in the Western countries. Santi means saint, and Yago means James. And Saint James is one of the 12 main disciples of Jesus Christ. And he lived and died in Jerusalem, in what's now Israel and also part of Palestine. And after he passed away, about 2,000 years ago, they say they brought his bones to Spain. And Spain is this yellow country you see at the bottom here. And his bones are kept in a temple on this road. And so people from all over Europe, they will actually walk or bicycle to go on this pilgrimage. And so all of these roads, even the sea route over the ocean, it connects to this pilgrimage, to the church where St. James bones were buried. And I got interested in this pilgrimage because one of my yoga teachers in Arizona, he went there with his wife, and they ride on bicycles for 500 miles. And he said they had a really good time. So I think this pilgrimage nowadays, a lot of people do it to get some fresh air and to see nature. I don't think they're so interested in the bones of St. James, but they enjoy to walk together, take a bicycle ride. And you can see here, this is a typical scene. It's about 800-kilometer walk, 500 miles. And there's many places where you can stop and enjoy yourself. So you can see these guys looks like they want to go to the beach, but they're supposed to walk a little bit more today. And I think nowadays it's mostly a chance for people to go see nature and connect to nature. About 200,000 people do this pilgrimage every year. Okay. All right. Are we okay on the translation, honey? Yeah. I don't see translators talking. Some of them, okay. All right. This is called the Hajj. This is one of the most famous pilgrimages in the world. Hajj means pilgrimage. Hajj means go to a holy place in Arabic. And this is called Mecca. This is in Saudi Arabia. And this is where the Prophet Muhammad, who started Islam, he was born there about 570. This is almost the same time as Shenzhen, similar time. And all Muslim people, 5 times a day, I think you know, they will make prostration to the direction of Mecca. And if you travel in a Muslim country, you will see a red mark on the ceiling. And that's the direction of Mecca. So people know which way to bow. And I was even on an airplane one time at one of the 5 times during the day of prayer. And I remember a Muslim, he stood up and he started to do his prostration in the airplane. And I thought it was very cool. So in your lifetime, if you are healthy enough, and if you have enough money, you are required to try to go to Mecca. If you're a Muslim person, anybody in the world. And 3 million people go every year. It was interrupted by the COVID a little bit, but now they're started up again. This is an amazing pilgrimage called Kumbh Mela. in India. So these are all Hindu people in North India, and they will go to the Ganges River in 4 different cities to celebrate this pilgrimage. And I lived in one of those cities, Hardwar. I lived there for a few months one time, and it's crazy. About 30 million people, up to 50 million people will come. And you're just supposed to put your head in the Ganges River. I did it myself. It's amazing, and you're supposed to get down in the Ganges River. This pilgrimage they only do it every 12 years because it depends on the Jupiter, the planet Jupiter, which they call Brihaspati. And if it comes to a certain place in the sky, it means it's a good time to take your family and go to the Kumbh Mela. Kumbh means, you guys who know Yoga Sutra, Kumbhaka means a vase or a pot, and special breathing practice is called Kumbhaka. And Mela means nectar, Amrita, deathless nectar. So this pilgrimage is called the pot of deathless nectar. And they say if you can put your head under the Ganges River during the Kumbh Mela, then it's like you don't have to die. You will go to some special place after you die. So that's a second pilgrimage. Third one, I wanted to talk a little bit. I have a few minutes left, about 5 minutes before Dr. Wu speaks, I think. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the meaning of these pilgrimages. I've told you before about a pilgrimage I did with my good friend, Dhiru Shah. He's a famous diamond merchant. And he's Jain. Jain religion started at the same time as Buddhism in India, 2,500 years ago. And this place is near Mumbai, not too far from Mumbai. It's called Palitana. And if you are a Jain person, you should try to go to this mountain one time in your life. And about 400,000 people go there every year. And I went with him. He said, hey, you want to go to Palitana? I said, yeah, I like to see what they do. And when I got there, you're supposed to reach the top of the mountain before dawn. So you have to finish this climb. The climb is 3,500 steps. You can see the steps here. And it takes 3 or 4 hours to get to the top. And at the bottom in the dark, my friend Dhiru, he said, Geshe Michael, if you're going to go to this mountain, you have to show respect. Then I said, yeah, don't worry, I respect it, you know. He said, no, respect means you have to take off your shoes at the bottom. And you have to walk up the mountain with no shoes. And that was the most painful thing I ever did, to walk 3,500 steps with no shoes. And, you know, I couldn't walk for 2 days after that. The purpose of this pilgrimage is very beautiful. And I could feel when I reached the top, we have to start meditating as soon as we reach the top. And it was one of the most beautiful experiences in my life to meditate with the Jain people in the temple in the dark. And then the dawn comes up and all the sun comes through the windows, and it's very, very beautiful. It's a very, very beautiful pilgrimage. And the purpose is to get to the top and to meditate in the temple once in your lifetime. This is the temple where the saints of Jain religion lived there. They say millions of years ago. Okay. This is one of my favorite temples in Palitana. I like it because it has 3 parts. There's a stupa, which is not in this picture. Then there's a open porch where you can sit and have lunch. You carry your lunch up to the mountain. And then here's a special little room where you can meditate. And on the left side is a small, you can see some small rooms. This is where the caretakers, they will bring you water. They will help you find the bathroom, things like that. So I very much hope that we can have these elements in the stupas at Diamond Mountain. It doesn't have to look like this, but I think any covered place where people can enjoy and relax while they are climbing, especially older people, and then someplace where we can meditate while we enjoy the stupa. So I hope we can do that. In the Lamrim, in the ancient books of Buddhism, when people like Kamala Shila talk about meditation, and we just finished translating his book, famous book about meditation, The Mixed Nuts, with Dr. Wu's help. He says, if you can meditate where holy people meditated before, then that's the meaning of a pilgrimage. If you can go to a place where good people were meditating before, and you can meditate there, that's a real pilgrimage. So I hope that Diamond Mountain pilgrimage will be like that. Here's the Diamond Mountain Medicine Buddha Stupa. We will cut it out of local white marble. And there's what it's going to look like, okay? So I think this is a new pilgrimage in the world. There's no Buddhist pilgrimage place, big one that I know about in North America or South America. Half of the world, we don't have pilgrimage place, the 2 Americas. So I'm very excited that we will have a place where Western people and Asian people can come and do pilgrimage to a holy place at Diamond, the newest great place to do pilgrimage. So thank you guys. I'm really grateful. I think we're all grateful that everyone is helping to build these stupas. And I would like to turn it over to Hanli, to Dr. Wu, to Dr. Blue.
Absolutely, that would be really wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
We're a little tight on time, so I'm going to just mention one of the very, very big pilgrimages in America, in the Americas, in North America and South America, which is the one in Mexico City, which is Our Lady of Guadalupe. Each year, as many as 10 million people will visit that shrine. And the story that comes from that is that there was a man who converted to Christianity in 1531. His name was Juan Diego. He was an Aztec man. And he walked up a hill to a shrine and claimed to then see an apparition of the Virgin Mary. He then went back down to tell the bishop about the story, and the bishop said, I absolutely don't believe you. You have to bring me proof. So he went back up the hill again, and the Virgin Mary apparently told him where to go pick roses. So he picked all these roses, put them in his cloak, and took them down and showed it to the bishop. And when the bishop looked at all these roses, he also saw the image of the Virgin Mary in the road, in the roses, and then took that as proof. So I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you are doing something simple or something complicated. It doesn't matter if you go to a large and beautiful place like we've been seeing on the pictures, or whether you go to a really humble and simple place like here at Diamond Mountain, or we even have a small missionary in South Africa in a town called Kuruman, where people will do pilgrimages. At the end of the day, I think there are three common elements, no matter no matter on which journey you choose to go. And the first is that you choose to go to a place where you want to do something holy, meet something holy, or there is a holy place that you want to visit. The second is, this theme for me is that all of these journeys are long, they are a little bit difficult, they usually have walking or climbing or some physical challenge, right, that's in there. So we challenge our physical bodies, and also, as Dr. Wu has said, we challenge our minds at the same time. And the last thing I think is that they all have a very specific purpose in mind. You are walking and traveling long distances because there is something that you are seeking. There is something that you are hoping to achieve. And I hope that in Diamond Mountain, we can create that space for you where you can come with a purpose to learn about the medicine Buddhas, to walk all the way up the mountain, to stop at each of the stupas, of which each one will be a representative of a medicine Buddha, and to sit and contemplate there, and then climb the stairs, because there are going to be many stairs up a very, very steep hill to the temple at the top, where we hope that you will also find what it is that you are seeking. And I'd like Sunam to play us a short video just to show you where we have gotten to right now and what it might look like. There's going to be probably more in time, but for now, that is what it's going to look like. And then when we're done with that, I hope that she will share with us our journey that we're on to build these stupas, because that in itself is almost a pilgrimage. The journey that we're taking to get all the right documentation together, to find the marble, to create the stupas. So that's our personal pilgrimage at the moment as well. So Sunam, if you'd like to show the video, that would be really great. Thank you, Sunam. Maybe this is a good opportunity for you to share with us the progress that we have made so far so that everyone can see what's been happening. You're on mute.
Sure, happy to do so. So these are the donation numbers from October 31st of October 2021. You see Taiwan has pledged 2 stupas. They have over 1 million end of October. Dr. Blues is raising up, and I show you the actual number in a minute. Singapore and Malaysia are normally quite same off the world, all the rest of the world, and Japan. So I'd like to show you the actual numbers from yesterday, where we see, Dr. Blue, thank you so much. You have reached the 1 million. And so I think the second stupa will be in the line soon for planning and building. In general, I would like to say that we are quite in schedule regarding the building schedule. So groundbreaking is still planned for January. We are really finalizing everything so that we can do groundbreaking in January, which is, I think, really exciting. We have done all the preparation, especially Han Li and Line and Space are working in the last weeks tirelessly to get all the permits which are necessary. And then also the fundraising is really in time. We had a plan for 3 years and the goal of 10.5 million in total. And so far we started fundraising last December, and we have at the moment over 3,260,000. So I think we are both in plan regarding the planning and the project and the fundraising. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Venerable Sunam. That's really wonderful. I see there are some questions in the chat that I just want to pose. There are 2 questions that I think are relevant to this talk. I'd like to finish with the last question. Geshe Michael, I'm hoping that you can answer the question that was asked about what goes inside a stupa. Perhaps you can take us away on that one and then we can wrap up.
Okay, I'll give a short answer. Thank you, Dr. Wu. And thank you, Hanli. Thank you, Sunam. You always got the accounting up to the date. My own accounting is 1 year behind in my own life. Maybe you can help me with my accounting. So what we put inside of a stupa, and there are, the Asian Legacy Library of John Brady and his team. They have found over 300,000 books in the world of the ancient books. And inside those 300,000, there's maybe about 100 books, which are list of what's inside the stupas. So somebody will make a list. What did they put inside the stupa? And oftentimes they will put the bones, like the Christian stupa, they will put the bones of the holy person. When I met my teacher, he was 55 and he never went to a dentist in his life. So we had about 3 years experience at the dentist and they took out many teeth and they repaired all his teeth. And I kept the teeth. I asked him, can I keep it? He said, yeah, you want it, you take it, And so actually the stupa at Diamond Mountain now, it has my teacher's teeth in there. And so oftentimes we will put the piece of the body of the holy person. I know Dr. Wu has many, we call many ring cell. It means the bones or the teeth of a holy person. He has in his own apartment. I saw it. from Buddhas and things like that. So we have valuable relics there, including relics of Pabonka Rinpoche already. Personally, I like books. Maybe you guys know. And oftentimes we will put a holy book in the stupa. And, you know, recently we finished the Medicine Buddha Sutra translation, Dr. Wu and myself and Yan Teng. We finished the translation after about 2 or 3 years of work, hard work. And we released it in an ebook because it's much easier. Nowadays, it's difficult to ship the paper book. And when I saw it, I was very, very happy. I think 500 people got the book in the first day. And I was so happy, super happy. But also I was scared because I think, wow, this book can disappear in 1 minute also, you know. If the book is online, this book can disappear in 1 minute also. So it's a tradition to put the books in the stupa to save them for future generations. And we plan to put some books in a special chamber inside those stupas. For example, some of the Christian Bible was found in a cave in Egypt called Nag Hammadi. And some of the missing parts of the Bible, we found it there after 2,000 years in a big pot. And maybe you guys don't know, but we checked, Dr. Wu and I and Tang Tang, we spent 3 years checking the mantras. He's still checking the mantras. He drives me crazy. And but we found a stupa in Afghanistan, which is a Muslim country, but it was a Buddhist country about 1,500 years ago. And inside that stupa, we found the Medicine Buddha Sutra. It's carved on the tree bark in a special language called Gilgit. And it helped us to fix the mantras and to get the names of the 12 generals, the yakshas. So that's those are 2 things that are popular to put in a stupa. You can put parts of a holy being. And then when you go there, you get the blessing of that person. And you can also put the mind of the holy being, which is the books. And we can use the stupas to protect those books. In Egypt, where they found the Christian books after 2,000 years, this is a desert. This is high desert. And Diamond Mountain is also a high desert. It's very good for paper. It's very good for preserving books. If there's nuclear war, they will send a bomb to Los Angeles and New York. But I think Diamond Mountain, they don't care. So it's a safe place to put your books if you want to save them for future generations. Sunam Hanli, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Geshe Michael, for getting up early in the morning and sharing with us these pilgrim practices. We really appreciate it. Dr. Wu, thank you so much also for your contribution and sharing with us the Eastern view or perspective as well. It's really important that I think that we always keep in mind that many different ways to do pilgrimages. And then finally, I would like to say thank you to all the translators for translating, and Venerable Sunam for organizing all of this and being a great partner when we are working on this very interesting project. I really appreciate all of you, and thank you for staying a little bit longer. I know we've run over time. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening, day, sleep tight. See you soon.
One on, Ulasha. One on.